Well, it's time to do a little bit more detailing to our project here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to tag or label the doors and windows that we placed. Now, we do this for a couple of reasons. One, it helps us to make sure we have the right styles that we expect to use in the house, whether that be a casement window or a hung window or a sliding window, or maybe the doors are 4 or 6 panel doors, maybe they're just flush plain panel doors. What we want to do is make sure the contractor knows what our intent is. So we're going to tag our doors and windows. So let's talk about tags a little bit here and kind of get you into that. So when we're looking at tags, that's a type of annotation or a note that we then place onto our drawing. So what we're going to do is we're going to move up along our top of our screen, and we're going to go over to annotate. Excuse me. And we'll find that we have our tags are over in this area right here. So kind of underneath the managed work here. Now, when we are doing tags, there's tag all, and tag all literally will do that. It will tag every single category, feature, element, composite, uh, anything component, anything you put into your drawing, it'll tag. We definitely don't want to go that route. Now, what we want to do is look at this tag all option. So if you notice, there's not just tag one. That's not an option for us. So we're going to do a tag all. We're not going to do a tag all. We're going to do a tag by category. And we're going to focus only on a few things to begin with. So we need to do both the doors and the windows on this floor. And what we do here, you'll also do on any additional floors that you have for your project, whether that be a basement or a second floor. You'll need to do the same thing with those as well. So when we click on tag by category, we get a menu that comes up. And when we're looking at our menu, we need to do a few more settings here just a little bit to make sure we understand what's going to happen here. Okay, so we're going to modify the tag a little bit. And we've got to kind of look at what's going on. We want to put a leader line on it. Gives us some options there. You can turn that off and not go that route. That's totally fine. You just have to be aware that you need to maybe take a little more attention to what's going to happen to that and where that's going to go. And what it's asking us to do is select the category that we want to tag. So I'm going to attach the leader to the end. They have about a ½ inch long. Most of this I'm just going to leave as it is and then modify it as needed. Okay. So we're going to come down and I'm going to start with the front door here. So I'm going to zoom up on the front door. And once I come by the door, you'll notice it's going to tag that. And it's actually going to tag it with door number 139. I can tell you right now there are not 139 doors on this project. Now, that number is coming from the fact that this template has been used multiple times. And it keeps track of the number of doors that have been tagged. So while we're going to start with the tag number 1, is their typical usage here. We're going to go ahead and just tag these doors and get them to go into play and work that. So this is the first method. We're tagging by category. We find a door, we click on it, and that tag is placed. Okay, and we're good to go. Now I'm going to go in on their right click and hit cancel and place that one tag because we want to talk just about this tag. So this tag is going to be numeric. And I'm going to cancel that just a minute. And I'm going to want to move that. Now, it gets a little tricky here because in order to move that tag, I have to be able to window it without selecting anything else. And so I'm going to cancel again and get out of the tags. And I'm going to window in a very precarious way that tag without trying to get anything else. And it is, there we go. There we got it. Now, once I have that windowed, and again, I have to choose an area where I'm not going to select something else. So I use a close window on that selection, not a cross window. Now I can move that tag so it's on the outside of the door, just so it makes it a little easier to locate it and to see it. Now, while I'm here, there are some things I can do. If I decide that I really don't like this leader line coming off of it, over my properties, I can just turn that off. And then I can just move the tag itself and place it where I need it to go. Okay. Completely acceptable and completely a choice you need to make, but you do need to be consistent with it. Okay. Now, I've got my tag placed here and it's all ready to go, but I really don't want it to be door number 139. So if I hit edit type under my door tag and I look at what there is there, there's no way to change that numbering there. The only thing I can do is add the leader or remove a leader. Okay, so we've already done that method. If I want to put that leader back, I simply put the tag back on there. Okay, so there's got to be another way to accomplish this. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're going to come back to it. Now, that's the method under the annotate, where I came in, I did annotate, I did tag by category, clicked on that, and picked a door, and away it went. Okay, so cancel. Cancel. Now, let's look at what else we have to work with. If we go to our architectural tab, and we look over here, we have tags here as well for our rooms. We're going to be coming back to these in a little bit. These allow us to tag the rooms themselves and give each room a name and some additional information there. So keep that in mind, okay, that there is another set of tags in the architectural. Don't confuse these for doors and windows. They will cause you a little bit of grief there, okay? So we go across structures. Structures do have tags in here as well, but they're a little more buried, and they're dealing more with structural elements. So we don't have to worry about those at this point. Typical those will be done by your engineer. Let's go to insert. Insert does not have tags. Insert has things about linking to other drawings, as we've looked at in the introductions. So if we want to look at any of our other areas, annotate is our area here. And I'd really like it to just go ahead and do all of the tags. Just get them all done. So in our tag area here, we did our tag by category, and it didn't really pick a category for us at all. If we hit the down arrow here, that's where you find the load for additional tags. So let's go ahead and look at that while we're here. And when we look at that, you can go in and load the family like you would a component. You then come down to your annotate folder, and in here you'll find area tags, assembly tags. There's different types of doors and windows in here. Typically, I think they're already loaded in, so you're not going to have to worry about them too much. You can download them also from Revit City to add those in. I think there's a window tag. Here's a window with a multi-category. So notice this is the diamond, so it's a little different than what we would be using on there. But there is some additional tags you can bring in to use. There's architectural tabs. This is what we're primarily using. There's a door tag. It's in use right now. And then we have a couple. There's a window tag that gives the number and a quantity. So this is how many of each door there are. This is the manufacturer representation. This is the one we looked at prior. So there are some additional tags you can load in if you want a different style on your project. Feel free to do that. Notice we also have stair tags and wall tags and railing tags and material tags. There's a tag for just about everything you want to use. And if you don't see what you want, we can help you find that. Okay. Now, I really would like this to just go ahead and do every door on this plan. So I still have my other floors showing. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to do a cancel, clear out of my command system here. I'm going to do that. And what I want to do, I'm going to zoom out here just a little bit and get out of that box. Get that to clear. There we go. And I'm going to come down to my underlay. And I'm going to remove that basement level. So let's remove that so that it's no other confusion in there. Now I'm going to look at my category and then do tag all this time. Oh, tag all is a little different, my friends. So tag by category is you pick the item one at a time and it works. Okay, so let's go look at that as well now that we've got this going. There's my tag. I put my leader back on. We'll take that back off because we had that other floor showing. Now if I go annotate, tag by category, I'm back into single mode. When I get to a window, notice the symbols changed, and I've got two windows that are side by side here. They're both the same number because they are the same window. Okay, now the default is to place these tags on the interior. Let me see if we can maybe change that. Hopefully, probably not. We might have to do a little more working with that. But once I place, I can pull that back out, place, and pull that one back out. So I'm doing this one window at a time. And this is the tag by category. So whatever category I click, it's going to recognize it and tag it. There's a stair tag. There is another door tag. So it's got a few that are preloaded in there to work. But again, I want to do all. So they're not going to do the soil. That's not what I'm ready to do. So now you can tag the soil. So this time they do tag by category. Excuse me, I was going to do tag by all, wasn't I? Let me go back to annotate, tag by all. And this time I want just the door tags active. So if I'm doing the tag by category, all these categories are active. So as it floats over, these that are loaded are what it's going to look for. If it's not loaded, it's not going to look for it. Okay, so now I'm going to apply that. And let me move this out of the road here. And I want you to watch these 4 doors, maybe 5 right here. But these 4 doors right here, once I hit apply, there are the tags. They're already there for every single door. Now, let's go back and review what we just did. We did tag all. We chose the door tags, and then every door in the project was tagged automatically. Just boom, all the way down in there. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing for Windows. So now I'm going to do tag all, scroll down to the window tag, apply that. All the windows now have tags, and now I got to clean it up. And I've got to do a lot of cleanup on this. This is the part that will take you a little bit of doing. If you do this, there's really no easy way to do it. Your template's going to have a starting point. You're just going to have to kind of get used to that. And when you're in the industry, it's kind of a typical thing to have to remember these. So now we have everything tagged. The tagging part literally shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to figure out what you're doing. And again, you do it by floor. So we're doing the main floor right now. It even tagged the garage doors. So that's a good thing. Now what we want to do is let's go ahead and work on the door schedule. Okay, now let's talk about how these tags are working here. So my window tags, they have a hexagon, and my door tags have the oval, the little elliptical oval, and I'm fine with that. That works with me. This guy here, I'm going to take the leader off of there as well, since I really would rather not have it there. And each of these windows, I will probably need to come in and pull them down and put them on the outside. And that is, notice I'm using the projection line there to line them up so that everything's clean. And I don't need to be super far away from the wall. I just need to make sure it's readable. And that is so, so, so important. Now, these are the same number. These two are the same number. This one in the middle is different. That is really, really important. But all my windows and doors are numerical. The symbol on the outside changes, but it does create some confusion with readability. So typically with doors and windows, if you do your doors as numbers, then your windows are letters. If you do your windows as numbers, then your doors are letters. So one category will be alphas. The others will be numerics. So alphanumerics, letters and numbers. Don't do them both. It's confusing. It will cause confusion. Okay. So let's clean that up. I'm going to start by going to the door schedules. Now, the schedules just were automatically created the moment you started placing doors and windows. Those schedules were created. There you can browse to them in your browser. If you scroll down, you'll find an area called Schedules and Quantities. If we open that up, you have a bunch to work with. I'm going to work with the overall door and the overall window because all the others are subsets of that. So if you look at the main level door, it is a subset of the overall. Now we're going to try something here because it's supposed to be fixed and a little bug. If I open up the main level door schedule, there are the doors that are in the house. Now I can't zoom up on this, unfortunately, which is really kind of unfortunate because it is tricky to see sometimes. So let me see if I can maybe get the zoom to work with the control key and the plus key. Nope, not that one. Put that back. I should not have done that. That was not good. Let's do control plus and break this up a little bit larger. Okay. Now, I do know I have one door in here that should be 3 feet wide. And that is going to be technically this door right here. Now, I can still jump back and forth and look. And I want door 139. So that's what I'm looking for. So 139 does not exist on this main level floor. Now I've got a little bit more of a problem. There's not a 1. These are all 9s. These are all 9s. Let me go check the overall then real quick. Yep, we got a problem. My door numbering and my schedule are not in sync. Not to worry. That is actually pretty common. So 139, if I take this door and I select it and I come over to the properties and I scroll down, there is mark 139. Okay, well, this is now then become mark. And I'm going to go with 100 because you can do it 2 ways. You can go 100 and start with your first door being 100, 101, 102. Or if you want to keep it so that you can keep track of which they are. So here's typically how we do it in a commercial situation. Your basement level would be the zeros. So 001, 002, 010, 011. Your first floor would be ones, 100. So 100, 101, 102, 110, 1010. That's not a number. 110, 112, so forth. Your second floor would be twos. 201, 202, 204, and so forth. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and designate these as 100s. If you would rather, you may do simply 1 and use that, or you can go 001 and use that. Now, whatever you put in there, it will hold. You can make that choice, okay? It might be a little easier if I do set this windows to be that mark, and we'll go from there. It might just help a little bit if we pick one and go with it for right now. So I'll go ahead and leave it with this one, the 001. Then I'm going to come back and they'll look at the size of this door. Now, the size of my door is not going to show in my properties. I have to look at the edit type. And I see that it is a down here. Where's my width? They've got a door width of 3 feet. Overall width is 5'1" and 1/2 inch. So that's the door I'm looking for, is this door right here with a height of 8'2". Okay, that's in gray. I can't change it. It's set. So that's the door I'm looking for. So I come back to my overall. And here's my overall, and I'm going to look for this door right here. And this door numbering is 001. So I change that ID on it. And I say, do you want to apply it all? Yes. So I apply that. It renumbers it, puts it up the first, and gets that door numbered where it should be. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to look for is I've got a whole bunch of other doors in here. For some reason, I've got an 8-foot door somewhere in this house that I should not have, which is okay. We can work through that. Now I'm going to go through and find my other doors. Okay. So my next set door is the 2-6 doors. One of these is not like the others. So if we go back and look at our zoom here on this, and let's go back to main floor here and look now. There's door number 1 right there. It update here. So whatever you do in one schedule is an update everywhere else. So let's look here at what's happening. That 8-foot door does not exist here. So let's go find out what's going on with that. That is here, 930. I'll find door number 930. Okay, so when we get to 930, we're going to see if we can fix that. All right. Now, our next door I want to look at, we have a whole bunch of 2-6, 6-8 doors. We're going to go find those. So we're going to go back to our main floor. This door right here is a 2-6, 6-8 door. The number on that door is 146. This is now when I do doors, just so you kind of understand what's happening, I start at the front door and I go counterclockwise around the building. You could go counterclockwise or clockwise. Just be consistent with each floor. It just makes it a little easier. Some of you have been through the hallways in your high schools and wondered why they numbered the way they did. That's what happens when you're not consistent in how you're going about it. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is go find 146. That mark is now 002 for that schedule. I apply that change, and I need to now go see if that actually took place to anybody else. And I'm not seeing that. So we have to go door by door. Now, if you are in the process of starting your doors and setting them, you can go through and do this as you go and keep things a little straight. But I want every door that's a 268 into your door, or sorry, that's a 2868 door. I need to find all my 2868 doors. Okay, so this one is a 2868. So I changed the mark. It is also 002. They can be the same. Okay, so I'm going to change that one. Okay, and it's mark that. And again, you might want to come in and just move your tag so it's not in the way of any lines or thresholds that are there. Okay, now if I look at my door schedule, I should have the 2868 2-panel door right here. There's 4 of those. This would be 002. And I hit OK on that and move that up. And let's see if we can find the rest of those. So this is 2868, 2868. And I should have 2 additional. So we'll find those. Most likely it's going to be a bedroom door. Yep, there it is. So we'll change this one. 002. I need to find one more. And it will tell me that I'm giving the same value every time. It's not a big deal. What it does is it puts all the same doors in the schedule so that they're easier to get this count so the contractor's not trying to go around and find them. It just makes the whole process easier, and you have less problems with your construction process. So we've got 3 of them. Let's find the last one. And where did I put a 6.8? Probably not that. That is an exterior. Right there, that one right there. So again, we just change the mark and apply it. Okay, that is our 4 doors. So now I move to the next one. Okay, so our next number we want to find is, again, moving clockwise, is over here. This is 152. It's my 2068 doors. So 2068, there's 2 of those. Yay. So now this will be 003. So I make that change. I go back to the floor plan. This one, 003, and so forth. Now, because I'm using closet doors, most likely will be another closet. somewhere, and probably here. 2068, there she is, and 003. Apply that. Okay, so make sure you're consistent. Take your time. If you need to print off your floor plan and need a highlighter to mark the ones you've done, um, it works really well to do it that way to keep track of things. Okay, now moving up along to the water closet door here. That's a 2668 2 panel. That one shouldn't exist. 26686 6 panel. That door should not exist. So this door and these doors are the same. This is a one. Oh, I've got this is a Craftsman. That's the panel. Now I gotta go figure out what I did wrong here. That's the interior. Figure out what I did wrong. Nope. Okay, we've got something a little wonky here. 2668, right there's the other one. So we're going to change these out. And so knowing that this is the 268, okay, we're just using match properties. I'm going to take this door, match there, and there. And that actually helped a couple of things. And let's change the numbering. So we get out of command. 002. Nope. 262. 26. I think one of those would be 26 doors actually. So let me go ahead and modify that back here. And this door I need to fix anyway. It needs to swing the other way. So it swings against the wall. Make it right. Okay, so this will now be 003. This is a 28. 20. This is supposed to be 26. 26. Nope, that's supposed to be a 2 door. 28, 26. Okay. We'll keep working on these to get them cleared up. All right, so you go around and change all your doors. Now, I'll go ahead and do this and we'll get caught up. Same things that apply to your windows. So we're going to go and open the window schedule. So I'm going to do the main level window schedule. And these I'm going to change as well, except these I'm going to do with letters. It just makes things a little easier. So on my main floor, I'll start with the windows here. And I'm going to change that. Now notice I can't get to the tag on these windows. I have to pick the window. Then I can scroll down, find the designation. It's going to be an uppercase A. Maybe if I get that to apply. And so you notice these tags are going to be done each a little different. So we get those letters in there. And then I'm going to take and go to the schedule. And that's 586 and 587. I'm going to change it here. Windows I actually like a little better. So let's combine those. If I go back to the plan now it changes. So the windows are much easier because it does a global. And I don't know why the doors won't do it that way, but it is a little more work to do the doors. So now I'm going to work my way around. And this one here, 585, I'm going to go back here. 585 would be B. Place that. You just have the 1 there. So enter that in, change that, go back. Here comes C. Again, I'm going to move it to the outside. 584 is my one I'm going to change. I go to the window schedule. 584. C. Enter. Hit OK. Back to the plan. Now the windows are easier because they're always on the exterior and there's not a lot of change going on there. And so we'll pull this guy out and we'll go 492. So much easier. 492 becomes my D. So see, they do like doing these a little bit better. You might want to check your other door tags. They may label better when you apply them than what these are. But it doesn't take that much time really. But look at all these beautiful windows labeled out. And now I just have to spend some time on the doors. So that is your door and window schedule tags. It doesn't take a whole long time to do it, but you do want to go through it here. So let's take 587 real quick. 587. This will be E. When you're doing your letters, you then skip the letter O and the letter I. O's look like zeros and I's look like ones. So if you go to that many windows, skip those two. And it'll make your life a little easier. And we got two more. Might as well just finish this up real quick. 588 is my next window I want to find. And again, move your tags to the exterior so they're easier to read and find. It will just make life easier for people down the road. And for me to find them, to grade them, if I know where I'm looking for everything. And there's 588. There's this guy can come out. Change 588. A, B, C, D, E, that's an F. And enter that in. Back to the plan. And then we'll just slide these up and over. And this one down. And there should be one more window right there. This guy right here. And 547 is our last one. And this is G. And enter that. And that takes care of the windows. So I'll go through and get the doors renumbered. But this is how you're going to put in your door tags and your window tags for each floor of your building. It's really important you do it. These schedules will be placed on the floor plan sheets with your drawings so the contractor can find them. But look how beautiful this is. He knows exactly what size window, what type of window, and how many of them to purchase. And there's no question. It's exact. So he won't make mistakes. You won't have to pay for extra windows, and life's will be really good. Okay, door window tags. Start with the tag, then go through. I'm going to go ahead and try one thing real quick before I let you go. Then go see if I can find door. Let's see which door that's going to be kind of. Let's see, they should use the same door, but they're numbering different. So I'm just going to see if I can give these guys a number, and I'll just go with maybe door number 6 for right now. 143 and 142. Which they're not here. This is my problem with where my numbers are. So what's happened is the doors are on the 900s. So 900 doors have been used since I started this template. And I've renumbered them a few times. So that's why they're not in sync anymore on the doors, is they just don't sync up anymore. But if I go in and find that size, and this is the double glass exterior door 5068. So let's see if we can find that. 5068 right here. If I change that here, make it 006, enter that in. Yeah, so I'm going to change the 1. But if I go back and look at it on the plan, didn't change either of those. And I know it should change one of those. And it did not. Yeah, you're going to have to do the doors the hard way. I was hoping they got the bug fixed. It is not. So, not the funnest thing in the world to do, but it's not terrible. You guys can do just fine with it. All right, there you go. Door and window tags. Let's get to it. It's time to go to work.